All right, so my phone cut off. So here's part two of the nursing home dad and family saga. And my hair's sticking up. So, anyways, my half brother, which I didn't really grow up with, was saying that I didn't know what kind of condition dad was in and all this kind of stuff, and that he wanted dad to stay there in the nursing home and that he didn't think he should go home, and he didn't want dad. I'm trying to remember everything he said, quoting his text message because he didn't even have balls enough to talk to me on the phone. He just texted me. He said that he didn't want dad dying home alone. And I'm like, I texted you all the information about this. You've taken all this time to finally bother, before you finally bothered to get in contact with me. And I said, I gave you the information for him to get the NIA assessment and all the stuff that they're going to do for him, as long as he gets the assessments done and they send in the care, he can get long-term care at home. I said, I'm going by what Dad said he wants. Dad wants to go home. He doesn't want to be in that nursing home. And so this is what I'm fighting for. I'm fighting for what Dad wants, not what you want, not what Aunt Shirley wants, not what I want. It's Dad. It's his life. If he wants to go home to be able to die, then that's where he should be. Not in a nursing home. As long as he's going to be safe and he's receiving proper care, there's no reason in the world that he cannot go home just because you or Aunt Shirley doesn't want him to. So they didn't tell me or Dad the whole truth of exactly what happened that day. They were only supposed to remove the things out of his house, out of his apartment, that was possibly in the way of him being able to walk, clearly through, like with a walker or something, which he doesn't even need now. He's been walking on his own. So, without any walker, without any wheelchair or anything, he's been walking on his own since he's been healing. But, so, meanwhile, today, after the I can't think of the way. STF, the stuff hit the fan. How did SH? I don't know. Anyways, yeah. After Dad was tired of everything, Shirley conveniently went on vacation. How nice. I wonder where she got the money. But anyways, Dad said he was supposed to get out of the nursing home on Monday, is what he was told, that he was going home. I'm like, oh, really? That's news to me. So did they do the assessments then, so you can get in-home care and everything? He's like, I don't know. People have been coming in and out of here. He said he wasn't sure if they did an assessment or not, yada, yada, yada. And he said he didn't think so. He thought it was just the people from the nursing home. And I'm like, okay, it'd be nice if they would talk to me and let me know so I know you're going to be able to go home and be safe. Yeah. So Monday comes, Monday goes. Nobody coming. Dad didn't get to go home. Dad's pissed. He's really mad. I mean, he's really mad. And, yeah. So he says he's going to call the cops. And that he's going to demand to be released. He's being held against his will. All this kind of stuff. And then today, I called to check up on my dad to see how things were going and what had gone on, if he was still there or not. uh, got him on the phone, and some lady was visiting him, one of his friends or whatever, and she's she was saying that she had talked to Kate. She's just a friend of my dad's, and she's getting to talk to the supervising social worker there at their nursing home, and I'm not talking to her. I'm like, how was she able to talk to you but not to me? And she goes, I don't know. She goes, but I just saw her walk down the hall. You want me to get her for you? And I'm like, yeah, sure, please do. I said, I've been trying to get a hold of her and leaving her messages, and she's not returning my phone calls. And she goes to get her, and Kate says, and I could hear her in the background, she's not on the paperwork. I don't have to talk to her. Like, what? And so the lady says, well, Kate says that you're taking off the paperwork. I said, by whom? Who had me taken off the paperwork? Because Dad had me on the paperwork to be able to talk to them regarding my dad's care. So when I talked to my dad said that they must have tricked him and had me taken off the paperwork. And it was supposed to be Shirley that was supposed to be taken off, not me. I'm like, okay. Well, I said, Dad, this is the whole thing. I told you not to have anyone, don't sign off to anyone. I said, not to me, not to Shirley. Don't give anybody the, power of anything, proxy for medical care or health care or anything, because this is what this nursing home does. They did this before with Mom, and I told you this. I said, don't sign off on anything because they will use it against you to keep you there. That's what they did to Mom. And my mom and dad have been divorced since I was like 3. So, yeah, he goes, yeah, I know. They talked me into signing all this paperwork and stuff. He goes, and he can't read. So he has no clue what he was signing. He has no idea. They could tell him whatever. He didn't know. He had no idea what the heck he was signing. It's some pretty shyster stuff going on. So my dad gets really mad at this point, and he starts telling the Kate lady off, telling them that he wants to get out of there, and he wants to get out of there now, and he's tired of them taking advantage of him and doing all this stuff, and then not, doing the things that I asked for him, and because I was trying to advocate for my dad for the things that he needed and wanted, like hearing aids, and to get checked up to check his colon, because he had colon cancer twice, and worried about that, and worried about the fact that he was getting cold all the time, having problems going to the bathroom, and he was having pains in his stomach, which he said that they've been ignoring the whole time since he's been there. And with, excuse me, with being cold and stuff, and the pains in his stomach and everything, and him not wanting to eat, those are all symptoms of your kidneys. I've taken care of, and I've talked to a lot of people that have had kidney issues and on kidney dialysis and all that kind of stuff, and those are the symptoms. So I wanted him to get checked for these things to make sure that his kidneys and things are not failing. He wouldn't do anything I asked. Nothing. So my dad gets really mad today, and he makes them call his apartment and stuff to prove that the stuff was taken out of his apartment so it's safe for him to go home. Well, when he talks to the apartment manager, who I had talked to before, and told her, don't, let anybody do anything to my dad's apartment unless he's there, okay? Come to find out, what Shirley did was she took absolutely everything, illegally, without permission from my father, took all of his belongings, and got rid of them. I don't know what she did with them. She took everything, all his furniture, everything out of the apartment. So he has absolutely nothing in his apartment to go home to. Not a bed, not a couch, not a chair, nothing. No dishes, no nothing. They emptied the whole apartment out because they, Shirley, convinced my little brother. So they took absolutely everything out of my dad's apartment. All my dad's things. I just found this out today. My dad just found this out today. So now we're trying to refigure everything. And I'm like, Dad, you need an attorney? We're going to need to talk to an attorney or something. You're going to need to sue this sister of yours and make her pay for all brand new furniture to be put in your apartment or something, because this is ridiculous. I'm like, so now how you going to go home and sleep on the floor? You don't even have anything to sit on now. I'm way out here in Texas. You're way in New York. There's no way. I said, unless you can get a friend of yours or somebody to get you on a plane and send you to Texas. I'm like, I will find a way to get to the airport because my stupid car is not working right now. I will find a way to get to the airport, get a ride, and go pick you up from the airport in Texas and bring you home to me. And I will take care of you. I just don't understand these people. How do you get away with this? How was this allowed? They went into my dad's apartment. Everything's in his name. And they stole all of his things. They took them. He has nothing left. Nothing. My dad's worked his whole life. He's been a hard worker his whole damn life. And now he has absolutely nothing. They took everything. Everything. So now even if he does get out, he has nothing in his apartment. And if that's even if he even still has his apartment. If they're still keeping it for him at this point. I was told they're supposed to keep it for at least 6 months for him. So, and they didn't have any right to take any of his stuff. Any of it. So, what was the other thing? It's been a stressful day. I'm trying to figure out what to do. For my dad. There was something else and now I can't think of it. Oh, and then my dad said that Kate told him. So another person that I need to wring a neck. That he's not going home. And that he's not going to stay there either. That they're going to send him to another nursing home. I'm like, how do they get to make these decisions? My dad did not sign away his rights of who gets to make these decisions. And if they do have a signature, it's illegal because they didn't tell him what he was signing. He can't read. He's dyslexic. He left school in the 5th grade. Shirley freaking knows this. He can't read. He can barely write. He can just tell like street signs and things like that a little bit. But usually he has to be told like directions like by what the buildings look like and stuff like that to get around. And he's done that his whole life. Because back when he was in school, they didn't do anything for dyslexia. So he left school and started working from after 5th grade. During 5th grade. They totally took advantage of my dad. And now I got to figure out, I have no clue what to do. And my car's not even working, so I can't get anywhere. I've been trying this whole time to get either my vehicle fixed or buy another vehicle so I could go home with my dad. So I tell my wonderful Aunt Shirley off today via text message. And so what does she do? She doesn't call me because she has no balls. She doesn't call me to confront me because she knows she's wrong. No, she tells my disabled cousin, her son, her own son, about it and complains to him about it, who has seizures, by the way, because he has a traumatic brain injury. So she tells him and stresses him out and has him text me a bunch of mean stuff. When him and I have always been really close. That just shows how much of a disgusting witch she is. She used her own son, who is disabled. She abused her own son just to try to hurt me because she knows that him and I have always been close. She used him to tell me off because she doesn't have balls enough to admit to what she has done to my father. And then she also tried to get my little brother in on it too. So, of which I told them both, I said, well, really, it doesn't involve you, what has transpired between me and Shirley. I said, tell Shirley to grow a set of balls and call me herself. Because I have a few more things I'd like to say to her. Especially now after I found out she stole all my dad's property out of his apartment. She should be in jail right now, not on vacation. She should be in jail for stealing absolutely everything out of my dad's apartment. And now I got to try and figure out how to deal with this situation. I was trying to take care of all this other stuff and get things done for him. And now there's all this on top of it, and I don't know what to do. I'm trying to figure it out. And now my dad's all stressed out, too, because of it all, which is not good for his heart or his health. So, trying to figure it out. If anybody has any suggestions or ideas, I'm all ears. Update you later. I gotta go.